Hey everybody, welcome to Focus Garage. Anders here with Mike. This is his second appearance in this project. Today's topic is the exhaust. We're gonna work on the exhaust. We remove the engine from the car, have it on the subframe, and we're gonna modify the subframe. The hump that we were talking about in the previous video with the engine mount, we're gonna create that for the exhaust side, and then fabricate a downpipe for the turbo, and the rest of the exhaust would be pretty much straightforward after that. But the biggest problem is the turn and going into the subframe.
So we'll kind of show you what we're working with here. We've already got the subframe and engine out of the car again. So as we left off in the last video, it was in and it started. Well, it's out again.
Yeah.
So we've got the motor here, and here's essentially is what we're working with. You can see we've got the the exhaust manifold, the turbo, and everything here. And like Brad was saying with it, he doesn't want to have terrible ground clearance with the car. So essentially the exhaust is going to need to route down here and go through the subframe. So it's just a matter of notching what we need to notch here, running the exhaust through it, and here's kind of the routing, the turn and everything. We're going to try and retain some of that and just shoot it out the back of the car. So we've got a stock exhaust kind of beginning of a downpipe that we're going to take and modify here to get the flange to bolt up and everything, and just start modifying the subframe and go from there. Any final words?
Nope, let's get to it.
All right, so we've got the beginnings of the exhaust here. As much as we all want to run it straight out of the car and through the fender, I don't think that's going to be the most realistic way. So here's kind of what we're working with here. We're going to kind of mock up where we want to cut it, and then we're just going to be running it, like we said, kind of down and through the notch that we're going to make in the subframe here. So here's kind of where we're starting. Interesting flange, so where these mount up with the turbo. Rather than being a V-band or some kind of flange with a O-ring gasket, it's just kind of beveled edges that meet up there. There's kind of a better idea of what that looks like. But yeah, here's kind of where we're at now. So we got to do some cutting, and yeah. Are you going to be pulling the whole assembly out of the subframe when you're doing all the notching? As I saw you put the hoist hooks back on.
Yeah, so we're going to remove the engine off of the subframe to cut that hole in there, and we need to kind of like support it in the bottom as well, so keep the structure very good. So this part we were talking about earlier, this is just, it's not really structural here because all three are boxed up except this section right here. So this section was meant to be exhaust, kind of like keep everything together. It's not structural or anything like that. So putting a hole in there and putting another like a dome type of thing, hump,
as long as it's reinforced, you're good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine, so we're not really worried about that.
Yeah, so we'll probably add the hump. We'll need to make sure we don't hit the engine because that would make some pretty horrible rattling, but this is only about like probably 1.5 inches wide, so we'll just keep that same profile, put weld to the sides, and then remove this guy from the bottom, and then we will probably box ours.
Yeah,
just since we're changing it, we want to keep whatever strength it would have.
Yeah, keep it as strong as you can.
We already boxed up this section of the frame anyway for our engine mount, so yeah, we just need to continue the other side, and it will be all boxed up.
Yeah,
it will be very strong.
While some of the fabrication is being done, I just want to take a second to kind of appreciate this car for what it is. I'll be honest, when I first heard that they were going to be putting that Saab motor in this car, I'm like, you got to be crazy. I don't know how that's going to work out. But now that I've seen it, I've seen the engine in the car, I've seen it run, it's honestly, and I don't want to, make it seem less than it is, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, they've had their struggles with stuff, and there's going to be a lot more custom fabrication, but the way it fits in there and the overall idea of this really isn't too bad. So right now, like I said, this is going to be primarily a video of just fabricating the exhaust and however far we get with modifying the subframe for that. But there's still some other hurdles to kind of get through, and we're going to make sure that we kind of document as much of that as we can along the way. But I'm a believer now. I can't say I was the biggest believer when this first started, and it's definitely come a long way, and it's got more to go, but it'll get there.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Ow.
Shame on me for not believing the Fiero punished him for me shaming him.
That's the one thing we're trying to explain it to our viewers here, that this swap is not just for the engine to stay there forever. We're doing the swap so we can take the engine in and out of the car in like less than 30 minutes. So that's our goal. That's why when we do the engine mounts, the locations, you could probably do it better job than this if you're not worried about that.
If it's gonna permanently stay in there. Like the whole concept of this is ease of working on it.
Right. A lot of the wiring, a lot of like, we're going to replace some of the wiring clip, like we're gonna use clips and stuff. When it comes to fuel rail, we're gonna use different connection coolant lines as well, so we can unbolt them very easily without leaking anything, hopefully, and then put it back in and we're done. So enough chit-chatting about that. I want to show you guys what we have done so far. What Brad was talking about, we have this section right here cut up, this section cut up. We have to use this special because of the turbo. This is gonna go in like this, and here's the turn. So we just need to weld this all together and we'll be fine. And I think it's gonna be like this. This sounds much better.
After years of cutting and welding and cutting and welding, it's done. That's it. Dump pipe through the hood. Game over. No, but go ahead. Do you really want to show them what the plan is now that we've got the start of this?
Orientation we're gonna go is this way, and then we're gonna come back.
Yeah, maybe there at best, but yeah, we're gonna have to go out and down, and then from there now that we got one mandrel bend that we needed, now we're gonna go to my favorite Tahoe exhaust pipes. From there, we'll probably need like one more. What do you think that is? Like 45 or 60 or so.
Yeah.
And basically, we want it to go right through the middle, just so that the exhaust won't scrape if we
Bottom out.
take any off-road excursions.
And it actually works out well too, because look at where the oil pan stops, and then the clearance that you have under kind of the engine block there.
Yeah, I mean the oil
right
pan
through there.
has the space for one of these big cats, so
without that, you're good. Yeah.
So I mean, and I would say having the cat there is probably one of the worst things that happened to the like 94 plus Saab. So like the 9.5 2.3 motor is like a notorious piece of junk sludge motor. You might take that junk talk out, but it's notorious for sludging because it has too many cats right at the oil pan. So, and even like our first engine had a puddle of sludge. You know, they when they were releasing these, everyone in Europe was competing for increased oil change intervals. So they said like, fine, you know, it's synthetic, like you can change it at 10,000 miles, and that destroyed at least half of these cars.
And then we're destroying the other half.
And we are destroying
between parting them out and building them in other cars.
We're making them better.
We're taking the survivors.
And yeah, making them what they should have been all along.
So this is gonna be where we're gonna talk about the frame. So it does not look pretty, but it is very functional and it is very strong.
It's very done.
And it's very done, yes.
So anyone that wants to, you know, hindsight design is really easy. We started with some piece of 4-inch, I think, and made both cap sides. And then once we were done, we realized it didn't quite reach the original frame. And on the second one, if you guys happen to see that, I'm just gonna use a piece of 6-inch, go tip to toe, notch the whole thing out, and then cut the ends off.
So the whole reason we have done this is because so we can have the exhaust coming down from the engine and go right here.
We left
So
ourselves just enough space.
we have just enough space so we can go a little bit low, like a 1/2 inch or so, and then what's gonna happen is that the exhaust is gonna come out like right here.
Up and over,
And,
split into two,
yep.
and shoot some fireballs.
So shoot some fireballs. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, so what we really didn't want to do is lose all the clearance, because these cars sit so freaking low. If you throw an exhaust pipe underneath, it's gonna drag. So,
Yeah, or it's gonna get smashed between the frame and the.
Yeah,
Well-
and the turbos don't like that.
Let's put the engine back on and start working on the rest of the exhaust. Here we go. We have tacked up all the exhausts coming down from here, very shiny, and then going into junkyard Tahoe 3-inch exhaust. Goes right under that hump and then under the oil pan, just like OEM style, and comes up above the frame over here. We're gonna put something over here to hold this exhaust a little bit, and then we're gonna have 1 in, 2 out muffler. But our exhaust overall is done. What do you think, Brad?
I think it turned out okay. You know, things that would make this easier would be pipe expanders. You can buy one on eBay for like $160. You can get a for $300. You can get like an Aero or hydraulic one, which is pretty cool. But I'm a cheap ass, so I'm here doing butt welds to junkyard pipe. I still stick by my claim for near mandrel bends that maybe lose about 1/4 of an inch on a full 3-inch pipe. An 07 Tahoe is just as good as a million pieces of mandrel bent pipe from any, you know, mandrel bender. If you really wanted to look fancy, you could. For 24 hours of lemons, it's sort of discouraged, so we're kind of going the opposite way. We don't really want it to look great, because then they'll think we bought some $400
Custom exhaust.
custom, yeah.
It is
nonsense.
custom by us. Overall, I think for the functionality and having 3-inch exhaust, it turned out pretty good. Like I said, we're gonna cut this off. We're gonna put a V-band there, and then we're gonna have 1 in, 2 out exhaust.
This is a car that had a 2 1/4 exhaust with like 15 bends in it, and a resonator and a cat and a muffler, and we're gonna be at like 6 feet. So, you know, if we get a cherry bomb on there that's, like you said, a 1 in, 2 out, it's probably gonna need some restriction.
Quiet it down, because the tracks do have noise level. This exhaust should be fine till like, I'm gonna say 400 wheel horsepower, even more, because like how short it is. We need to modify the bumper for the tips, but for now, this was one of the biggest challenges that we had to come across. One of the biggest challenges, because there is many big challenges in this car.
We have some more coming.
Yeah, the knuckles are gonna be the next one, but modifying the frame was kind of sketchy. We had to think about it before we do like placement of the engine mounts, placement of the exhaust hump, and all that stuff. So we needed to make sure that we are not compromising here. And that section over there, we can go over. It's boxed up. So this is a boxed up section right here. So
And again, if I had the chance to do it again, I would have done it with one single piece of 6-inch on each side.
yeah,
Just cut out what we needed. The patchwork stuff kind of looks,
it does not look
fancy.
pretty,
but it's fun.
but it's functional. On our 2.0,
Yeah.
we will make it better. It's coming along. The next project would be the coolant pipes and then the fuel line. We are waiting on the coolant pipes to show up.
We'll be
So
here tomorrow, too.
yeah,
Things that we can do in the meantime. These are the stock bearings. You can see how thin the plate is here. These are notorious for just straight up failing. We have it's referred to the J body bearing. It's a significantly bigger bearing. It's wider. For a row of bearings, the wider you can spread them, the more forces they can take. So that bearing's wider. The flange is extremely, double the thickness. This looks like 1/4. That looks like 1/2. And I think it only needs about a 1.5 millimeter
boring out.
diameter bored out on the knuckle, and I have a boring head for the mill. So
Yep.
pretty much what I bought the mill for to start, and I've been playing with it since.
Engine mount there. You guys might remember this one was milled out. Some of the stuff that we have done on this car.
And it turned out perfectly flat, and we're gonna mill off the rest of this
Yeah.
later when we get a chance, because we don't need it. The next project, since I'm just gonna disappear on me a little bit, the next project is replacing this power steering pump with the I think the pulley's right there. With some sort of replacement, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tensioner pulley, the grooved one, and try to put it about the same place so I can still get a pretty decent, I think this is about 90 degrees worth of the water pump. If I can get it in this region here, It'll clear the space in the head. It'll clear. You can see we've been shredding the belt, which doesn't matter because we're not going to use this size belt in the future. So it'll be a smaller pulley. We're going to get that clearance back to the hood
Hinge,
hinge mount. So
yeah, it's coming along. We're working very hard. We are very tired, cold, and we want to go home. So just wanted to give you guys a little update again. We'll continue, and we do have a special Instagram page for this car. If you guys want to follow, it's kind of following behind. We need to catch up, but like probably by this video comes out, all the pictures would be uploaded, and you guys could follow us. Every time we're in the garage, we'll upload it. I'll put the link in the description for the Instagram account, and you guys can see it. But it's Saab 9 Fiero. So if you guys search it, you guys will find it on Instagram if you guys want to do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you guys in the next episode of Fiero Project.